Guys, Steven here, Fanatic Perspective. How about them Cowboys 2016 victory over the Minnesota Vikings on Sunday Night Football? The Cowboys are now 6-1, among one of the best teams in the NFC. Definitely one of the best teams in all the NFL. We're going to break it all down. Rush hour was in full effect. Shout out to Cooper Rush leading the Dallas Cowboys to victory in coverage and replacement of Dak Prescott. So let's break it all down. Real quick, I want to give a shout out to our sponsor, BUSR, the official sports book, the official betting partner of Fanatic Perspective. You can sign up at busr.com/fanatic. We had a good day, had a little 3-team afternoon parlay that I did. It took advantage of the promos. Had Patriots +4. I had Jags, Seahawks on the under for the total, and I took Denver in the points as well. So parlayed those and had a decent afternoon with my picks and made some money today. So shout out to busr.com. Also running a contest. Guys, 2-ticket giveaway to the Texas Longhorns. I know Texas has been a trigger of frustration on this channel, but just a good time, Tran and I getting down there, Austin, Texas. In order to win, busr.com/fanatic, you must be signed up, must be active, as well as following on all socials. We will be doing the drawing for the winner on November 5th. Now, story of the night and story of the day. So coming into today, a lot of talk about Dak Prescott all week. Dak Prescott, is he going to play the decision? What have you. Everybody that I had texted with, I know I didn't have any videos on the channel about it, but everybody I texted with, I had only always leaned towards taking the precaution for the player. And as Dak and the team had stated, it's not about 1 week per se or one game, although we are competing for home field advantage at this point in the NFC. This is for the long haul, and we need him in order to make any type of Super Bowl run. Knowing the leadership he has on this team, he's a elite quarterback. We need him for the long haul. However, and this is something that goes back to the 2019 season, when you have an injury to slow you down, not even forget Dak's ankle and all that, if I have talked on this channel since I've started this channel about the importance of having solid backup quarterback play. Now, have the Cowboys been snake bitten at some time? Sure. Have we went the Andy Dalton route. We've had John Kitna in the past. We had Kyle Orton in the past. We've had some guys. It's not like they've completely disregarded it, but over the last few years, at least during the Dak Prescott era, I've been frustrated. And one of that points of frustration was, hey, if you guys don't trust Cooper Rush, then why is he your backup quarterback? And then last year, obviously, we go Garrett Gilbert and Ben DiNucci and Andy Dalton, that type of thing, and working back to Cooper Rush. Like Dak Prescott, Cooper Rush continued to work on his craft, his game, and he's clearly a better football player, as you saw in the preseason of him beating out Garrett Gilbert for the job and developing. This is not the same Cooper Rush from 2 years ago. If Cooper Rush was this good now, as we saw tonight against the Vikings, then he probably could have started that Eagles game a couple years ago when Dak's shoulder was messed up. You got to have the type of guys to come in here. Cooper Rush was very well prepared to play football tonight. We have to give credit to the staff, Kellen Moore, Doug Nussmeier, and Mike McCarthy. And I'm gonna get to the coaching staff and all that here in a second. But Cooper Rush, movie like night, right? Screenplay type night. Obviously, NBC is doing a great job of panning and showing his parents, his family, and everything. And it's beautiful. He's battling. He had to figure things out in the game. Mike Zimmer throwing some different types of looks at him, things he's probably never seen before, getting adjusted to the speed of the game. But he kept his head, he kept his poise, and he delivered for us. I knew that the Vikings would come out, especially with how teams have been playing us, with us being a balanced attack. Hey, we're going to lean on Zeke. We're going to lean on Tony Pollard. Vikings are going to key on those type of things and take that away. We know the Vikings have been struggling against the run, but all those resources means one-on-ones on the outside. It means CeeDee Lamb's not going to get bracketed. It means Amari Cooper can be the technician that we know him to be. It means Ced Wilson, who will be paid handsomely in the offseason and is balling, can make do what he needs to do. The tight ends are live. And Cooper Rush just had to take advantage of those opportunities based on what the Vikings are doing. As long as we can avoid third and longs, and it was frustrating early in the game, really for most of the second half, because we didn't seem to be helping the quarterback as much. Whether it's the penalties, whether it's the missed field goals, different sorts of mistakes. But this team, and this is a credit to this team and everybody here, they're figuring out how to win. They're figuring out how to ride through adversity. And that's why it's so fun to watch this team because, yeah, we've had games where we've just blown people out of the water and we know we're the better football team. But Minnesota was riding a 3-game win streak. Minnesota had Kirk Cousins out there and Dalvin Cook and, very potent offense, Justin Jefferson, Adam Thielen, Tyler Conklin's a threat on the outside as a tight end, playing that flex position. You have all these different variables in there that you're competing against if you're Dallas and a hot football team that's really trying to stay in the race, for that 7th playoff seed and just keeping themselves in the mix. And we come out victorious yet again. 6 wins in a row for the Dallas Cowboys. I can't say enough about Cooper Rush on that last drive. Again, keeping his poise. Shout out to Ezekiel Elliott of breaking those tackles. I know the run game wasn't as effective today. We didn't even average over 4 yards a carry. But just being able to get those guys engaged in the passing game and making the Vikings pay for the amount of people they had in the box and taking advantage of all that space that our guys had to work on the outsides and operate, and even some of the in-breaking routes. And I was very impressed. In the game, Mark Cooper's battling. Tyron Smith is out. We have Ty Neske in there playing left tackle. Think about that. We have Terrence Steele on the other side playing right tackle. I don't know what's going on with Leo Collins. I don't know what's going on there. But you have 2 backup tackles in there. You have a backup quarterback. And you're able to engineer a touchdown drive to win the game. Not just go down and tie and make it 16-all and go to overtime, which is what I was kind of thinking at that moment. But going and winning the football game and overcoming adversity of officiating, which was very poor today, in my opinion. But Amari Cooper showed leadership. Ezekiel Elliott showed leadership. This team, this is a good football team that I'm really enjoying this season. And I've seen a lot of Cowboys teams, and I felt good in 2007, even though the Patriots were clearly the best team in the league. I felt good in 2014. 2014 was a really, really fun year. 2016 was a really, really fun year. This is the most complete Cowboys team I've gotten to see because this defense is nasty. Micah Parsons, I mean, the guy's all over the place. You need to play the edge, he can play the edge. You need him to play in the middle, he can play the middle. You need him to cover tight ends or get guys out of the backfield and, cover Texas routes and all sorts of stuff. He can do all that. He wreaks havoc. Randy Gregory, menace to society, Randy Gregory, in the most positive football way I can mean it. The brother is relentless. It is so beautiful to see somebody go through what he's gone through, have the struggles he's had, and become this elite pass rushing force. I mean, he's probably the best guy right now in the league when we run, when we do those looping stunts and whatnot, and he's coming up to blow that center. He's amazing at generating speed to power. And we're playing complementary football. I love the way, Trayvon Diggs didn't get a pick today. And, he had some issues at times with Adam Thielen. He also did a good job relatively on Justin Jefferson. The Vikings struggled to really throw the football chunk yardage against us. The defense held up just fantastic all the way around when you really think about it, especially after the opening drive. I think that was their worst drive. After that, they're battling penalties. They're battling, certain situational errors. Even on special teams, we have the offsides on Bradley and Nye. But Anthony Brown, Jordan Lewis played well. Like these are people, this they made sure that this didn't become the Xavier Woods revenge game and let him be the story because Xavier Woods was out there balling. Everson Griffin was out there making plays for the Vikings. All of a sudden, it's like, dude, on Halloween night, are all these former Cowboys going to come back and haunt us? Really? Is this going to be the story? And Michael Parsons shut that down. Randy Gregory shutting that down. This is a good group. Donovan Wilson out here, laying the wood. I mean, I cannot say enough good things about the impact that Coach Quinn has had because not just the roster, signs of championship teams, when your roster top to bottom is good, you can play with your backup quarterback. You can play multiple tackles. You can bring in a Connor McGovern for packages. You can get creative. You have Michael Gallup is not playing. Cedric Wilson can come in there and do some things. Noah Brown can come in there and be effective at the end of the game. You have multiple tight ends. You have defensive linemen who've been in and out. We're still waiting on Neville Gallimore to come back. Tristan Hill's, out. Of all these people that still aren't even with us, Tank Lawrence, right? One of your most expensive, best players on your defense, probably the leader of the defense, not even there. But we can still play football. We still compete. Guys like Carlos Watkins, Basham, right? Dorrance Armstrong's out there doing some stuff today. Like this roster, there's not a lot of bad football players on your roster, if there is any at all. Like they've done a good job. Will McClay to the front office. But the coaching staff deserves credit. Look, if we're going to give, because one of the other themes today was the backup quarterback. Shout out to Mike White. We drafted him. He goes and gets a win for the New York Jets in replacement of Zach Wilson against a good Cincinnati Bengals football team. Credit to Mike White developing, stepping up, and getting a big win. We see Trevor Siemian, essentially the third string quarterback of the New Orleans Saints, and Sean Payton, rightfully so. I watched pretty much that entire Saints-Bucks game today. Sean Payton gets a lot of credit after Jameis Winston hurts his knee. Obviously, Taysom Hill's not active. And Trevor Siemian's in there, and they beat Tom Brady and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And Sean Payton gets a lot of credit as a head coach for saying, oh, you had your guys ready, you had your backup quarterback ready, blah, blah, blah. Mike McCarthy deserves the same credit, okay? Mike McCarthy's in here. We saw what this team looked like last year when Dak Prescott didn't play, and it took him a month to score a touchdown. And, yeah, I was afraid in the first half that might be the case again. Like, I don't understand why people are missing tackles and all this other stuff because the quarterback's not there. But they settled down, and that's good coaching. Kellen Moore, great game plan again today. This is an opportunity to showcase that, we are more than just four, right? And Kellen Moore showcasing himself today. His ascension and rise as a coach, just exponential growth with Kellen Moore. But Mike McCarthy, I mean, look, as a head coach, you deserve credit when you're winning with a backup quarterback and backup tackles and your football team 6-1. And we can talk about the penalties, we can talk about time clock management, all those types of things. This team is well coached, and they're getting up for these opponents. Their game plans are for the most part this season have been on point. You have two excellent three. I actually like Bones Fossil. Some of y'all feel some type of way about Fossil. I know the special teams was up and down, but I like Bones. So I feel like I have three good coordinators: and Bones, Dan Quinn, and Kellen Moore. So Mike McCarthy deserves more credit than he'll probably get tomorrow. And Cooper Rush is definitely the story. And this team is clearly putting themselves forward as one of the best teams in the NFL. We play a Broncos team that won today against the Washington football team in Arlington next week. And we'll see, what the storyline will be with Dak. We know the Michelle Tafoya report and all those things. I'm sure will be day to day with Dak Prescott in the news. But credit to Mike McCarthy and his group, the Dallas Cowboys. I, as a fan, am beyond thrilled. I'm just tired right now because it's past midnight. But how about them Cowboys, guys? Make sure you hit up BSR. Take advantage of all the promos I got going for you. Shout out to our sponsor, official betting partner, official sportsbook of Fanatic Perspective. See the details for the contest we're running. Announce the winners November 5th. Got to be on bsr.com/fanatic. Love what the Cowboys are doing right now. They are saving my weekends because the Longhorns are driving me crazy. Some of these other teams out here, just all sorts of craziness, but the Cowboys have been a constant. And as a Cowboys fan, I appreciate it. All love, guys. Take care.